So last week I sold a $1,600 website. In less than 24 hours later, I messaged my client letting him know the website was all done. And the craziest part is that in the past, a website like this would have taken me like 2 to 3 weeks to complete. And I was maybe charging like maybe $500 on the high end. And so if you're stuck doing fulfillment, a website could take you 2, 3, even 4 weeks to deliver, and you're also charging cheap prices, then this video is for you. Okay, the 3 things I'm gonna break down in this video is how did I even get this client in the first place. The second thing I'm gonna break down is what type of website he needed. And the last thing I'm gonna do is show you how I actually sold and deployed this website in 24 hours. Okay, so how did I find this client in the first place? This client actually came through my YouTube channel. So this is kind of my organic YouTube content that I post. And that's how he found me. Now, that's not to say that other methods don't work, that YouTube is the only way to get clients, is the secret way. That's not true. I've actually got clients with many different methods, including cold calling. I've actually done quite a few cold calls myself. I've done Instagram DMs. I found clients through Facebook groups. I've done door-to-door. So I've tried many different methods. These all work. But the thing is, you kind of have to pick one and become really good at it. And for me, I just like content better. I don't like doing cold calls, that kind of stuff. But all of these methods work. And I actually have some other agency owner friends that are successful. And so these are other examples of stuff that they're doing to get clients. So I know of one particular agency owner that makes about $20K a month doing cold calls to contractors. I think he's booking like 20 appointments per week. Calls roofers, HVAC, plumbers, that type of niche. Through cold calls, seems like it works really well for him. I also know somebody doing just strictly Facebook ads in a small country in Europe. I'm not going to say which one it is, but he's doing about 30K a month just doing Facebook ads. Now, I have another friend that scaled his entire agency with just cold emails and a Loom video. So if you've never seen that Loom video, it's kind of like a screen recording, but you can just send many at a time very quickly, and you just plug the link. And so that's how he's been doing it. And then this is pretty much how he books appointments. I believe he books like maybe 40 to 50 appointments a month, and that's kind of how he hit 15 to 20K per month. And then finally, I have another friend, which weirdly enough, like I literally never used LinkedIn, but he's been having a lot of success with LinkedIn in Europe, and he scaled to 10K a month just using LinkedIn. So as you can see, like many different ways to get clients, not just content. I know a lot of people doing cold calls, cold emails, Instagram DMs, ads, all sort of stuff, but you just have to pick one of them, the one that you like the most, and you have to become a beast at it. So I think that's the main key with client acquisition for your website agency. Okay, now that you know how I got the client, let me just break down the actual website. And so this website was for a small law firm, and what they specialize is in 2 types of cases. So they do car accidents, and then they do like employee type of cases, like wrongful terminations, workplace stuff. And so they're kind of niche. They're not a huge law firm, but they had a really old website and it sucked. And so a lot of people had trouble navigating it. They had complaints with people. It was really old, outdated, bad user interface. And so they came to me because they were about to sign some big clients, and they wanted to show like a better version of themselves online. They wanted to have a better presence. They wanted to have a more intuitive website, something that looks better so that they can keep running their business. So what they were looking for is just a quick website that I could just redesign for them, and they needed it ASAP. They want to keep running their business. They don't want to waste time. And so for them, being quick and something that's like not too complicated was what they were looking for. Now, this website is not like crazy expensive, but nonetheless, like $1,600 for a lot of web designers is something that they struggle charging with. So let me just kind of break down why you might be stuck charging cheap prices. Because for me, like I've done a website for like $250, $500, $300. Like back then I was charging very cheap. I was stuck kind of competing on prices, and it was just a nightmare. Those type of clients are always really hard to fulfill. So let me kind of show you, if you're stuck charging cheap prices, there's a couple things you might want to think of. So the main thing that I do right now is I like to focus on businesses that charge high ticket for their services. So for instance, a solar business charges a lot of money to install their solar panels. So if you think about it, like installing solar panels in a house could be worth like $10, $15, even $20,000 in just one sale. So this would be one client. Now another good example is roofers. I think to replace your roof could be anywhere between like $7,000 to like maybe $15,000. So this is quite high ticket. It's just one client and they pay you a lot of money up front. Law firms is a really good example. I know a lot of law firms won't charge up front, or a lot of law firms like bill by the hour, like $600, $1,000 an hour. Or if they win a specific case, they're charged like 30% in just their commission. And so they're making thousands of dollars per client. Let's just say 10K. And so these type of clients, not only do they charge a lot of money for their services, but they value speed over price. And so for these type of clients, it's much easier to sell them $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 website because they value speed as opposed to just looking for the cheapest alternative. And so you want to stay away from like really small businesses that have no clients and are usually broke. Okay, now let me show you what I mean by this with a real example. So this, let's just say these are lawyers, this is a law firm, and here we have a barber. So two very different businesses, same website, same pricing. Let's say on one hand, we have a law firm and we charge them $1,600, just kind of like the deal that I just made with this previous client. And for these guys, they are charging about $10,000 per client. On the flip side, for a barber, let's just say your local barber is probably charging between like 30 to 40, maybe $50 per haircut. So the average client, let's just keep it simple, $35. So for a lawyer to make their money back, it would be very quickly. With one client of $10,000, they'll pay for the website and they'll have $8,400 in profit. For this type of businesses, it makes total sense to buy speed, to buy quality, to get a good website done very quickly, and they're willing to pay $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. Now for a barber, same type of website, home services, about us, contact us, a website take the same amount of time, we would charge them $1,600, but for a barber, it would take 45 haircuts just to break even. So think about the difference, one client as opposed to 45 clients, and on one side, they have $8,400 of profit, of return on investment, and for the barber, they're gonna break even. And so only on the 46th haircut will they start making money on that website. And so for a barber, is not a profitable investment, and it's very unlikely that they're gonna pay for a website just like this one. And so that right there is kind of the difference in how you can position your offers, who you should go after, what type of clients you should look for, which is going to help you charge more. And so I kind of built this system, what I call sell and deploy. And this is kind of my secret sauce. So I'm going to show you kind of how I do it. So the first thing is that I only build on Go High Level. The reason why is because Go High Level lets us do a lot of stuff that a normal web design editor is not going to let us do. And so in the past, like I was telling you, like a website like this would have taken me 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, regardless of which website editor I would have used. Now, what I've done is I've built master templates around all my niches, the niches that I usually service. And so a lot of the work I've done up front, and I have all these master templates for different niches. And when I sign a new client, I don't have to build from scratch. I use the master template so that I can deploy them to different clients very quickly. But the thing is, even though I have like 9 niches, 9 different templates, I actually don't have one for law firms. The reason why is because I haven't worked with many law firms in the past. But the thing is, this actually doesn't even matter. And the reason why is because I can take one of my other templates, and for me, this was the Solar template, and I could actually edit it to be for a law firm. So just by changing the text, some of the copy, and the photos, I can turn a really clean template that is fully built out, has all the pages, home, services, about us, contact, book now, and turn that Solar website into a law firm website. And so let me show you what this actually looks like in Go High Level, how I sell and deploy websites with my system, my websites. Okay, so now we're inside of Go High Level. This is my sub account where I keep all my master templates. So as you can see, I have my card detail right here, cleaning, Solar. This is the actual one that we use for that specific website. So let's say I click on it. Here we have our homepage, services, about, contact, financing. We have all this stuff ready to go. And so when we get a new client, I don't have to build from scratch. I have everything pretty much built out. Now let me show you a different one. Let's say I wanted to do a card detail business. I have my card detail template ready to go. Home, service, about, book now. So once I get a client, what I do is I go here and I clone my template. And so what I'm gonna do is click here and I'm gonna send this to my sub account for my client. Now, once I've done that, I'm just gonna start quickly editing the website. I'm gonna show you what this looks like in real life. So I'm gonna go here to the home page, and as you see, like this is gonna be built out for a Solar website, but we can literally change this to any niche. This one's actually very clean, and my client actually really liked it for their law firm. So imagine like I would just go here, change the city, and just do like law firm. So I choose Arizona's #1 premium law firm. So I'll just change this very quickly, just like that. Now this right here is just a simple video. So what I would do is go to Pexels or Unsplash or get a video from my client, and I would just swap it. These right here are just photo placeholders that we have. So like let's say for this client, they've worked with a few different companies that they have partnered with. I'll just swap these photos very quickly. I'll just go here, change the photo, and we would just keep going. Now another thing that I would do is just swap the logo. So I just click here, change the logo, go back to the footer, and I'll change the logo here as well. Just very quick stuff. As you can see, like the menu bars, the footer, everything's been built out. FAQ, very simple. I'll just start editing the questions. Like instead of being being like V&A Solar Energy, I'll just do like why choose X law firm. Now, let's say this section right here where it doesn't make sense for a law firm, then I could just simply delete it. I'll just go here, delete the section, and it's good to go. Now, another one that makes a lot of sense for businesses is like how they describe their process of getting to work with their clients. So for this one, they have 4 easy steps. That's very common with businesses. Some of them might have 3. So let's say for this law firm, it would be something like getting to know you over a quick call, preparing the case, and then going to court. Let's just say, like I just made that up. So we would just go ahead and delete one of these columns and there would be 3 left. So like using this kind of stuff where it's pre-built, it has the effects ready to go, saving us tons of time. And a lot of businesses use the same type of structure with their websites. So it just makes sense to use a template so we don't have to build from scratch. Now, another thing that we could edit very quickly, like let's say this client didn't like this specific color or it just didn't match their branding. What I'll just do is click here and I'll swap it with, let's say, this blue right here. And so that's just easy edits that we can do that won't take very long. Now, the final thing that I'll do is just take care of the forms. So like a lot of businesses have like an intake form to request information from their leads. So for this one, what I would just do is, because this is Go High Level, I already have my forms built out. I just have to click on it and just input the form. Let's say it was this one right here. It would be ready to go. And so that right there is kind of how I build the websites. This is the behind the scenes, and this is how we do this very quickly for our clients. But now I'm going to give you a couple tips so that you can deliver websites really fast. So for me, one of the things that I do when I sign a client, when I close a client for the first time, is I like to send an email and request all the info up front. So what this is going to look like is copy, any photos they have, logos, pretty much everything I'm going to need to build the website. But the thing is, clients are not perfect. Some clients might have really good logos, but they might be missing copy. Some clients might have all the copy ready, but they might be missing the colors, the branding, the style, all that stuff. And so let me just show you a couple tips on how you can overcome this so you can build the website and deliver it quickly. So anything I don't have, I try to figure out on my own. If you're missing photos, like for this specific client, for this law firm, they didn't have many photos. And so you can go to pexels.com or unsplash.com and you can find royalty-free photos very quickly. Now for this client, let's say you have the services they offer. So, they do car accidents. Let's say, they do employment, like workplace cases, but you're missing the copy. So you have the services, but you're missing the copy. This is very common with clients. You can use ChatGPT to generate it. So you can give ChatGPT a prompt like, hey, I'm building a website for this type of client. These are the 2 services they offer. Please give me the details of the services that I need to write. Give me some copy. And so that's kind of a quick way to overcome not having copy with the website. And the final one is, if you ever need inspiration for colors or you want to match specific colors and you don't know if they work well, just go on coolors.com and you can find like really good colors, and you can just generate hex codes, use that, copy paste that into Go High Level. It's going to save you tons of time. So that right there is how I sold and deployed that $1,600 website in less than 24 hours. And if you want to sell and deploy websites to your own clients, just click the first link in bio. You can take all of my master templates that I've built out that took me months to build out, super high-end websites that I've actually sold to my clients. You can just take all of them and you can start selling those to your own clients, so you can start selling and deploying websites very quickly with your Go High Level agency.